If running your small business feels like more chaos than consistency, Versatile Solutions LLC just might be the answer you've been looking for.
We're making history by sitting down across the table with Ganz, the curator of education for Siouxland Heritage Museums.
And why are Ashley and I shopping the produce aisle at the grocery store to get some of the supplies we need to create some crafty flower art? You're going to want to stick around to find out and see the results.
And that's only the beginning. We're just getting started. Hello and happy Tuesday. Welcome to KELOLAND Living. We're so glad you're joining us for the next hour. I'm Ashley Thompson.
And I'm Mitchell Olson. We've got a show that will brighten your day.
Yes,
and
okay.
We're going to start with the taste test.
Taste test Tuesday.
That's right.
Now, what do you think about this? Tell the people what we found.
Okay.
Well, we didn't find it, to be honest.
Yes.
But we were led to this by our friend at Hy-Vee.
Yes, she knows that we love pickle, anything pickle. Wow. Okay, this is pickle-flavored cotton candy. Let me just take a little piece and then I'll pass it to you.
I don't have positive feelings about this.
It's very green. Okay.
Wow. So my experience has been...
Oh, wow. That smells just like the scratch and sniff sticker of the pickle back in the day.
Yep. And my experience is
strong.
that things that are supposed to be sweet that get pickle flavor don't end well.
Don't usually. You're right.
Not like the pickle chocolate.
Right.
Okay,
right.
Ready?
Okay, here we go.
Oh my God, no.
Wow.
That can never be.
Wow. I mean, I'll finish the one out of my hand.
You are? But why would you do that?
Because I don't want
Why
it in my
is it
hand.
spicy? Oh, it's also hot mama pickle. Okay, it's hot flavored pickle.
Oh, it is spicy. That took a minute because it hit me.
Yep, we didn't look at that.
Woo.
Wow.
That is odd.
Now, this was
it's sweet. It's spicy. It's making me sweat. It's got pickle flavoring. I don't know. That is the strangest combination. Luckily, we have a whole container of it that we can share with anybody in the office who wants some.
And we might not even ask. We might just, we say it's lime.
Yeah. Well,
let's put a new label over the top and leave it downstairs for the kids downstairs like a trick. Listen, they had a bunch of flavors of it too. They had not just this, but there was another weird spicy one, like jalapeno.
They had jalapeno as well.
That was a weird thing.
Yeah, that is also strange. But this is probably the strangest one I've had in a long time.
Now,
you just don't expect it.
It's better than the pickle chocolate.
Yeah. How about, have we tried the pickle gummy yet?
Well, we had the pickle jelly beans. Those were not good.
Oh, yeah, those were not good. Yeah, I think you might be right about that. If it's something that's sweet, it's just not going to be a good combination with a pickle flavor.
No.
And this falls right into that category.
What we haven't done yet, because it requires freezing, is the pickle popsicle.
Oh, you're right.
We should probably get that going.
We should try that. That's a good point. Okay.
Well, coming up, don't touch that remote. We'll be back in a living minute.
Grab a coffee, stretch your legs, and stick with us. We'll be right back. This KELOLAND Living segment is sponsored by Versatile Solutions, LLC, Business and Professional Services, helping you design the business legacy you deserve.
Running a business means juggling a lot of moving parts, but what if you could save time, reduce costs, and streamline your day-to-day operations?
Today we're talking with Versatile Solutions, LLC, about how they're helping area businesses work smarter, not harder.
Darren Brownlee is Versatile Solutions Fractional Chief Financial and Chief Operations Officer.
From improving efficiency to finding customized solutions that fit your business needs, he's here to tell us how Versatile Solutions can help businesses develop the right strategy that can make all the difference for your business and your life. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Ashley Mitchell.
I think when we were talking a little bit in the commercial that when you own a business, it's probably not a business about business. It's probably a business about something else you're passionate about. So your skill sets and your passion doesn't lie in operating a business. It lies in whatever you're doing as that business, right?
Exactly.
And that can make it hard to be good at the running the business part.
The running the business is always the challenge part. Lots of hats the owners are wearing. A lot going on.
Right, and not necessarily what they're passionate about.
Exactly. Yeah, right. Right. They look at a financial report and then the garbage. It's like they're focused on their trade or what they're good at, and the things they're not good at. A lot of chaos can start moving quickly.
Okay. Well, we talk about the hidden cost. the hidden cost of business growth. What are some of the costs that business owners don't see coming?
Well, what I see when the costs they don't see coming is a lot of times, like you said before, the owner is focused on a lot of the things about their business. They have vision, but when it comes to the back end, the internal things, that goes to the wayside. and that can dramatically impact the bottom line. Owners may be focused on revenue, sales, and thinking higher sales is success, but they, again, forget about what's happening internally and what's affecting the bottom line, and that can cause a lot of constraint.
Yeah, you say that owners are often the bottleneck, the owners themselves. What do you mean by that?
Well,
they can be.
Yeah, they can be, because wearing all those hats, sometimes they resist that. A lot of times when people ask for help, they kind of think that's a weakness, and they may be resistant to thinking, hey, I built the business, I'm going to run the business, and I should be able to do all these things. So that's where that bottleneck, and again, the business owners are intelligent and great at things, but that bottleneck may be that they want everything going on, and then what happens is if the revenues start going up, more transactions, more things going on, where they can lose control, or there's a lot of chaos going on that it's hard for them to maintain. So that's where that bottleneck comes into play.
So at what point should a business owner decide that they shouldn't be doing this all themselves and they should have somebody else come in and share their expertise?
Well, I've seen, as far as numbers, for an example, a business maybe, hey, maybe one year they hit $1 million or $2 million revenue, and that keeps going up. Then they start hitting in that 3 to 5 million, and again, there's more transactions, there's more involvement going on, and sometimes they think they can still handle that. So that's where I kind of see it, and the stress. I was just reading some data here just the other day, as far as in the construction and trade field, that 60 to 80% of owners have stress every single day, and then anxiety is like 60% that they're carrying around with them in a calendar year. So that can just really drag on them. Not only, you look at their bottom line, but also them as a person too. It can really drag on them as well and drag them down.
So if a business owner is feeling like that stress and that growth, and they really do want to reach out to some help, what does that look like for you? What are the steps that you take with somebody?
Yeah, well, one, I tell them to have them step back, take a breath at what's going on. But the other is when I talk with someone, first is just have a conversation. So us talking through what their pain points are, they're not filling out 20 pages of intake information. We're just having that conversation. And a lot of times what I find out when I'm talking with them is there's other things going on, and not the main thing that they told me that the issue is. And again, it could be, hey, I'm having problems with hiring or something, and then as we dig around, we're finding that, well, they have multiple entities and there's other things going on. So just having that conversation. Once I have that conversation with the people, really the second step is just laying out a plan for them, talking through it, laying out the plan, and then really the third thing is executing it, but the key is executing it together, where I'm not just generating a 50-page report saying, hey, these are the problems you have, now go off and do them. Where what I call is I'm an embedded fractional CFO, where I'm embedded, rolling my sleeves up along with them and helping them through that process.
Yeah, let's talk about the CFO, COO gap that you were talking about and bridging that gap.
Yep. So the CFO, CEO really comes back to my experience. For 11 years, I was a CFO for a heavy multi-million industrial company. And then before that, I had my own software development business as well. So between those two, that hybrid, seeing the financial side and the system side, I bring that together to help these businesses, really so they're not being firefighters. A lot of businesses are really just putting out fires every day, where I can come in and help them with a plan to execute and help them through that process.
And then do you see yourself as someone who streamlines and executes things for them, or someone that sticks around for, am I hiring you as a fractional CFO or COO for a long period of time? Like we're walking the path together for years?
Yeah. Good. That's a good point. It's like, okay, we're hiring you, and they're like, well, you might as well have a desk and a lamp and a picture of your family there. But what it comes down to is I've worked with business where it's maybe a short term, where it's like 3 months. But ideally, it's usually on that year cycle for things to come through. So when I come in, I'm helping them, but helping them train their staff. Could be a bookkeeper, controller, whatever it means. So eventually, I'm basically working myself out of a job with them, but my goal is to set up that framework and structure for them. So when I eventually leave, that they'll continue to work on their legacy and not being a firefighter.
Teaching them to fish.
Yes.
Right.
And you have a 5-step checklist for businesses for turning the chaos into profitable clarity that people can download.
Exactly. So what I created off my website, versatileLLC.com, is just really a 5-step. There's 5 steps in there to help the business owner, and really it's really to get them starting to think about their business. One of the steps in there is think of the one thing that you could do today that would impact your business. And some may think, well, that's kind of a weird thing if I vacuum the floor or whatever, but it gets the mindset, the business owner setting back and thinking about these things. So the 5-step is just really to help that business owner start working and thinking about their business in terms of the chaos that's going on, but just helping them just starting someplace.
Yeah, that snowballs. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Business growth is a good thing, but it can also bring challenges when it comes to finances, operations, and long-term planning.
If you're looking for ways to improve efficiency, gain better control of your cash flow, and build a stronger foundation for growth, Versatile Solutions LLC can help.
To learn more or schedule a consultation, visit versatilellc.com or call 507-401-4005.
Darren and the team at Versatile Solutions are ready to help your business move from chaos to control.
This KELOLAND Living segment has been sponsored by Versatile Solutions LLC Business and Professional Services, helping you design the business legacy you deserve.
Still ahead, more KELOLAND Living.
Don't go anywhere. When it comes to learning interesting history about the city of Sioux Falls, local curator of education at Siouxland Heritage Museums, Kevin Ganz, is the guy to call.
But we recently discovered the real reason Kevin came to South Dakota in this week's Across the Table. Kevin, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thanks so much for having me here today.
We know you through the Siouxland Heritage Museums, which we love to do work with. We love that. How did you get into that job? Have you always been a history lover?
I've always been a history lover since I was a little kid. I've loved history. My parents didn't know how this happened. When it came time to do family vacations when I was a kid, I convinced them to take me to historic sites. And we went to Civil War battlefields, and we went to Colonial Williamsburg, and I made them take me to Washington, D.C. so I could go through all the museums. So always loved history, always knew I wanted to do history in my life in some way. And the museum end of it was actually kind of interesting. I was a senior here at Augie, and I got a call from some museum staff, and they're like, we're looking for a part-time person to work the weekends and sit at the desk, welcome people into the building, answer phones and everything. Would you be interested in applying? And I'm like, yeah, I sure would. And I got the job, and I started there. And when I graduated, wasn't really sure where I was going to go. They offered me a little bit more time. They said, well, would you like to work through the summer? We can offer you a few more hours. And I'm like, yeah, I'll see what this whole museum thing is about. And 30 years later, yeah, here I am.
That's great. And you are now the curator of education.
Correct, yeah.
What does that entail?
So I'm responsible with my department for all of our public programming. So if anyone's ever come to a program to hear an author speak, or we've had a historian or a living historian come in, that's my department. Or we've come out and done a program. Maybe you've been on one of our walking tours. You've come in and done a Star Lab. That's all through my department. So just trying to get some outreach in there so people can understand our history here in this area.
Now, you're not originally a South Dakota native. You've been here now a long time, but what brought you here?
So that's kind of a funny story. I grew up in Western New York, and I grew up in a small town on a dairy farm. And so no one in my family ever thought that I would want to go anywhere very far to school. But I said, well, when I'm going to go to college, I want to maybe look at something out of state. And also something else weird happened, and I saw the movie Dances with Wolves. And I looked, and at the end, they're rolling the credits, and I stayed, and I looked, and it's like filmed entirely in South Dakota. And I was like, South Dakota, wow. I was just so impressed with the landscapes, and I knew a little bit about the history of the area. And so I would say about 2 weeks later, I get this card in the mail. I was getting all sorts of mail as a student, and you come to this college. And it was a card for Augustana College in Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Wow.
And I said, Mom, look at this.
That is amazing.
I'm like, I'm going to send for information. I'm going to click the box. I'm going to send it back.
I love that.
You know, and the rest is history. I came out here to visit, and I was in Sioux Falls, drove all over, and just really fell in love with the area. And when it came time to make the choice, I chose to come here.
Yeah. In fact, you told us that Pettigrew's coming up on a big anniversary here.
Yeah, it's a big anniversary. It's a sad anniversary.
Yeah.
So I mean, maybe we should call it a commemoration, if you will.
Sure.
But so it's been 100 years. Senator Pettigrew passed away on October 5th, 1926. And with his death and in his will, he gave this community his home and museum, and we still enjoy that home and museum today. So we're hoping to recognize that gift to the city and the role that it's played. We're going to be trying to work a little bit. We have quite a detail of what his funeral was like, so we might do a little change in the house here to dress it a little bit, so what it would have been like upon the death of Senator Pettigrew.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
You also do Civil War reenactment. Tell me about that.
So as a kid, one of the big things that I was very, very interested in was the Civil War. And I went to a couple of Civil War reenactments, again, made my parents take me to one. And I became involved in Civil War reenacting, and I have been a Civil War reenactor for 33 years. And it's a fascinating hobby. For a weekend, you get to try to live like it's 1860, and with that, I've learned a lot. We all hope for that glimpse, that one moment. I understand that it's modern times, and I'm not really, I'm not on a battlefield somewhere, and I'm not half-starved, and, my life is in peril, but really, you want to get that one glimpse, maybe it's a few seconds where you're somewhere and you can understand what a soldier during the Civil War might have felt at that time. But it's been a wonderful hobby. It's taken me all over the country. I've been all over the place. And what's really funny is my first reenactment that I ever attended as a soldier of the American Civil War, I did it in Canada. So
Wow.
And what side are you on?
Union
Okay,
reenactor,
okay.
union reenactor for 33 years.
Yeah.
Why do you think it's important to preserve and even teach local history?
Well, local history is interesting, and I think Sioux Falls, and it's the same wherever you grow up. You never think the history in your own backyard is super interesting. I appreciate my own community's history back in New York more, seeing I don't live there. I follow things on Facebook and everything, and I was like, oh, how come I never checked that out or anything? But Sioux Falls has a fantastic history, and it's very interesting. Even when you look at the earliest time here, Sioux Falls, we like to think everything was always great, but we're like any kind of frontier town. I mean, there's complaints that there's more saloons than there's churches in the community and such, and it's just interesting to learn how this community was built. That's something I'm really interested in with the community.
I mean, really, the statement that history repeats itself is true, and a lot of people could say history's in the past, but you probably know better than many that knowing about history and learning about any history
it comes around in a circle. Most of the things that we struggle with today, you can look back and you can find that at some point someone was struggling with that at some point. And and sometimes people made what we would consider the right decision. Sometimes they made what we would consider to be the wrong decision in that. And but there's a lot of sides. What I find is there's a lot of sides to everything, and people have a lot of looks into what really went on, and it's a real interesting thing to try to grasp.
Yeah, well, I think South Dakota is lucky to have you.
And we can't wait to do more segments with you.
Yeah.
Oh, this is great. Yeah. I love to talk Sioux Falls history.
Okay.
Great. We
Thank
love
you
it.
for being here today.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
If there's someone in our community you think we should sit down with across the table, we'd love to hear from you. KLL continues with more KELOLAND Living.
Stay with us.
Looking for a fun and creative way to make flower art?
Today we're proving you don't need fancy supplies to create something beautiful.
We're using a few unexpected tools, including fresh produce, Q-tips, and even bubble wrap to start and paint a design that's colorful and floral and a masterpiece.
Get ready to see everyday items bloom into works of art. Okay,
We're not
we'll
so
see.
sure about that.
Because
here's the
100%
thing. We're fairly certain all of these videos that keep coming into our feed about this are AI.
Yeah.
But that's what we're doing for you today, is we're proving that.
We're going to prove it wrong.
Well, or right.
Or right. You're right.
But now, if you could just take that corn on the cob and cut us each a piece at least.
Right. Now, the thing that I'm looking at is what I was kind of telling you this morning. The thing about the corn on the cob is they don't evenly, go around it, and that's kind of what we were banking on for this art, right?
Well, we don't know.
We don't know. Okay.
So basically,
you
they
can
say,
probably remove some of them though, but yeah, I could see how this could look like
and then
a flower.
They have we have yellow and white paint here.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me see if I remove a couple of these.
And I've dipped it in. And I've already made you a piece of paper with some stems on it.
Oh, thank you.
And
thank
they say
you.
to use it as a stamp. No. This is not at all what the internet said was going to happen.
I had a feeling. Okay. Yeah. Well.
I mean,
It did make a flower shape, but not anything like what you saw, which made it look like each petal was perfectly done. Right, which is why I knew that the artichoke would be problematic.
Well, let's find out.
Let's find out. But first, hand me those plastic cups, because I want to try.
First?
Yeah, I'd like to try the bubble wrap.
Okay, the bubble wrap one's not for that, but you could use it if you want.
Oh, I see.
I have just regular paper too. That one's the Q-tip one.
Could you give me a rubber band?
Yep. And I need, here's one for you and one for me.
Here's some bubble wrap.
So corn is going to be
a no. A no on the corn. Now let's see if the bubble wrap trick
Let's find out.
works.
I mean, this isn't like the worst flowered picture ever.
It's not.
But if you've seen these viral...
You would say it's a lot different than that.
Yeah, and I was going to put mine on the bottom, but you're going to put it up.
Yeah, okay. I think a little bigger is better. Now, can you give me a color over there, like a purple maybe or something? Because I wondered if it would even be better to paint it.
Some people were painting it on.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe painting it on would be better, but
what if I saw people using more than one color. So what if I do like a couple of blues on here?
Okay, sure. Yeah, you're right. And then they did like what was it, kind of a white or something. But let me start with a darker blue. So I'm just gonna paint some of this on here.
Okay, now, and you went bubble side out, right?
Yeah. Bubble side out, of course. Now.
And we got this bubble wrap, by the way.
Oh yeah,
at an unexpected place. So we went to Hy-Vee to get all the produce, of course. And our friend there, who always makes sure she finds us about pickles, anything, which, that's how we got our pickle taste test.
Yep.
She was like, we asked her, well, do you have bubble wrap? And she said, well,
we don't sell it
anymore. But she said, but I sometimes save some. Let me go look. And sure enough,
she had some.
She got it for us. She saved our lives on that.
I know.
And so she's going to be curious as to whether this works too. I
was really appreciative of that. Now, here's what they say you do.
You're going to go on that one anyway?
Yeah, sorry. Okay. It's kind of working.
And then I would say
it's not working.
I'm going to add a different color on top now.
Yeah. Yes.
If you kept doing that, changing it up a little.
I think that's true. Now, let me see if I can do that.
Is this hydrangea-y?
Yeah, it is starting to look that way.
Okay.
And that was the idea, yep. It does come out like a hydrangea.
It's not bad. Let's move on to the artichoke, because this is the one I want to know about the most before we run out of time. And then we also have Q-tips. If you could cut this into a couple slices, that'd be great for me, and I'll make the paint.
Okay, I don't even know how an artichoke.
You cut it
like this?
Yeah, that way.
Like
that's
this way?
how they say.
Okay.
Straight down, yeah.
Wow, I don't know if we got the right knife for this.
That's all possible. Oh dear. Okay.
Wow, I don't know.
Can you get it?
Yeah. Okay.
Now, supposedly,
Okay.
I'm going to use all the. I've been pulling a Mitchell, and I'm
go.
using all the brushes,
Yep.
but that's okay.
Now
And
I could see how it could.
No, I need a piece of
form
paper, and they're
a
all over
flower.
there.
Yep. Here you go.
I need more paint, I think.
I could see how it could.
Supposedly, this is going to be like a rose, right?
I better get the Q-tip started
You better
because
get the Q-tip
I'm not
started.
certain about this one either. Yeah, they made it look like the most perfect rose ever, and that really makes me wonder.
And the thing is, how do you get it in all of the crevices?
Exactly.
Okay,
Exactly my
are you
point.
ready to see a
exactly
beautiful
my point.
rose?
Yes. Perfect.
I'm going to try painting it
Just
right
beautiful.
on here
Now,
myself.
now the last one that we have is the Q-tip test.
Now, I wonder if you had to have it perfectly.
I like how you think. That was the one that I was certain
was AI.
I knew that one
Okay.
would never work.
Q-tip time.
So I just need to get a little bit of the pink and I'll
Yep.
see if this works.
This might be the one that works.
This might be it. Okay. Oopsies, I dropped one. Okay, kind of.
It's better than the others.
Better than some of the other ones we've done.
None of this is what the internet says. So if you see a reel on Instagram or TikTok or Facebook where somebody takes an artichoke or corn or Q-tips or bubble wrap and they
are lying
say
to
that
you.
they make beautiful flowers, they are for sure lying to you.
This is what you might be able to make with some bubble wrap and some Q-tips, and
And
that
an
is about
artichoke
it.
and
It's a
some
fun
corn.
way to do a little bit of art, but it's not
Not
perfect.
gonna work.
It's
All
not
right.
perfect.
Well, stick around.
All right, we've got simple ways to make everyday life a little better. If you love the combination of sweet and salty, you're going to love what we're making today.
Banana pudding popcorn takes the classic flavors of a creamy banana pudding dessert and combines them with crunchy popcorn for a snack that's perfect for movie nights, parties, or anytime cravings strike.
Watch carefully because Ashley and I are going to show you how easy it is to make this delicious treat right at home.
Are we about to give caramel corn a run for its money?
Maybe.
We're about to find out.
Maybe.
I have to say I don't think so.
Yeah, I wonder about this too. Although
Well-
I do like banana cream, pie. And
I absolutely do not.
You don't?
Oh, no.
Oh, you don't like bananas or what?
This is classic Ashley and Mitchell. I like a banana. I don't like banana flavoring. I like watermelon. I don't like watermelon flavoring.
Right.
You tend to prefer the opposite.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
Now, for bananas, do you like both bananas and the flavoring, or is it just the flavoring?
For bananas, I like both.
Okay,
Well,
okay.
I don't like the flavoring actually, bananas.
But then how do you like this?
I know that's going to be an odd one for me, but I think I like the pudding. Now, I want to show you a quick trick to get the kernels out of your popcorn.
Okay.
Yeah, Mark thinks this is a pretty cool trick.
I'm ready. So what are you doing?
All you gotta do is just open the sides just a little bit so
Yeah.
that just a little
Just
sliver.
the what are they called? Old maids.
Well,
Some people say that.
Some people do say that. And then you just shake it, and maybe there aren't any in here. Oh yeah, there's some. And the
You're
old
right.
maids fall right out.
Now, we did a deep dive into this once about why do some of them not pop? And it's typically because they are damaged. Because the only way the corn, basically it turns the corn kernel inside out when it pops.
Yeah.
And it does that because it's got just enough moisture to create just enough steam inside the kernel to pop it, to blow it up.
Right.
And if the kernel is too dried out, or has a crack in it, it doesn't have the ability to have that pressure in it, so that it's a dud, right?
Yes.
And if you have duds, they say you can take them and soak them in water for a day and see if they'll pop.
Oh, yeah, really?
Because
Okay.
maybe they lost their moisture.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Oh, should I
didn't
dump
even
this in
think
the
about that.
garbage?
Yeah.
If that's all the duds you had, wow.
Yeah, I know, right? I did pretty
Now,
good.
I questioned you about using buttered popcorn in this because I thought.
But we have a combination. But I think it'll be okay with buttered popcorn.
I guess butter.
put some of that in
Butter
there.
is in cake. Butter
Yep.
is in stuff. Butter is in sweet things. So
Yeah.
it feels like a savory snack.
It does to me, and I think that sweet and savory work together, so
okay.
I think that this will be okay.
I think you might. The thing that's not gonna, it's not gonna be the popcorn that makes this not okay. It's gonna be the banana pudding. Now,
you might be right.
How much popcorn do you want?
About that. That
Okay.
seems to be about right. Now, can you open these vanilla wafers as well?
Well,
I'm just
this is
gonna
the part
put a
you're
little
not
bit of
gonna like.
vanilla
Now I see you
in
already
there.
opened the box.
Yep, sure did. Sure did.
You don't want me to open it.
So, this is the trick here. Now, this is what I was afraid of.
Oh no. Oh no.
This is exactly what I was afraid of. It seized up on me.
Oh no.
Like, you know how,
Yep.
I mean, I could try to microwave it more, but I think it's only gonna get worse.
Well, should I look online? Where's Vicky?
Yeah, how do we?
What do we do, Vicky? Why aren't you here right now to tell
Yes,
us?
how do we make chocolate not seize up
But
on
wait,
us?
and once we have, then what do we do?
And exactly, because do you have to add milk to it? Do you have to I doubt water would be the right thing to put in there.
Oh.
But maybe hot water or something, you think?
I'm gonna ask.
You're gonna ask online? Oh
'cause
yeah,
Vicky's
look
not
at
here.
this is like
It's really gone.
This is really seized up.
1 teaspoon at a time, adding boiling water or a warm fat like vegetable oil or butter.
Okay.
Or heavy cream while stirring vigorously. If anybody has where's Scott when you need him?
Where is Scott when you need him? Because this is not gonna work.
If anybody has boiling water.
Boiling water, they can grab that real quick, can't they? Well, let's talk about how to make it, and then we'll just have to.
We'll do the rest, I guess.
Yeah, we'll have to do the rest.
Oh.
So here's
we
how
have
this
hot water.
works. Yeah, we do have hot
can try
water.
that.
We could
If
try
somebody
it.
was gonna bring
If
us
somebody
hot
wants to bring us
water.
hot water, we'll try it.
We'll try it. It'll be a test,
but
but
just so you know, what happens is you would put the banana cream in the actual pudding into there, not make it a pudding, but put the powder into there, and then be poured over the popcorn
I think this was
along
a
with
sign.
the cookies and some marshmallows.
which we already had.
Yep.
Now this is a sign that nobody wants banana popcorn.
I guess. The other thing is, I wonder sometimes if it's if I'm not getting the right chocolate, to melt.
Well, this was chocolate
These are called
chips.
baking chips, and so I figured that would be the right kind. But sometimes chocolate chips, they're not the same. So I probably should have used a different one.
No, I don't think you should have. I don't think it was the chips problem.
You don't?
I think it was our problem.
Really?
I don't know.
I mean,
never.
It could be that it was too microwaved, but I only put it in for like a minute and a half.
Well, that seems odd too.
And that seems like it's.
And we're pretty sure you can't just keep heating it.
No, not now, I don't think, because it's only going to get worse. Yeah, this has happened before.
It has.
But I don't know if it was that kind of a chocolate chip that we used before. But I do know now that this is a tough one. So you would you crumble up the cookies as well. You would put them in here, and then with the banana cream pudding powder and the white chocolate, you would pour it over the popcorn as well as the wafers and the marshmallows. Mix it all together, put it out on that pan, and let it cool.
Now you hate these kind of
I
cookies.
hate those Nilla
In fact,
wafers.
when you were trying to think of what to put in it yesterday, you knew this was what it was called for, but you said to me, "The cookie I don't like." And I was like, "Vanilla wafer."
And you knew immediately what it was. That is a bad cookie to me. I don't think it's very good.
I don't know why. I do like this kind
You
of cookie.
do? Oh, you would eat them regularly? No, I would never. I mean, I would use it to dip it into something, but I wouldn't just eat plain Nilla wafers.
I would.
Huh, interesting.
I think I used to eat them as a child dipped in milk.
Oh, really? Okay, well, I could see it dipped in milk. Then that would be okay, probably.
That's all it takes, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. So, anyway.
Anyway, yeah. So this would be good if we did all the steps and if the chocolate didn't seize on us.
Well, now you're still sure about that?
I am pretty sure about the seizing, you mean?
No, about it being good.
I'm not so sure it will be good,
We'll
but
figure it out.
I'm going to find out.
We'll find out if it
someday.
works. All right, stay tuned. There's plenty more KELOLAND Living to come after this.
Stay with us. This KELOLAND Living segment is sponsored by the South Dakota Pork Producers Council, proud to support the farmers who raise the pork that feeds our families and strengthens our communities.
you might hear the word donut and immediately think breakfast, but today's recipe is flipping that idea on its head.
Today we're being joined by Abby Ryman-Schneider with the South Dakota Pork Producers Council.
Abby's going to show us how to make bacon donuts, a savory bite-sized treat packed with smoky bacon flavor and perfect for parties, game days, or any time you need an easy appetizer that will disappear fast.
So stick around as we show you how to make these crowd-pleasing snacks right at home. Okay, well, I do love the donut appearance to it.
That's what it's about, right?
It's donut shaped. It's not like a dough donut.
No donut.
No dough,
No
just the
donut.
nut shape.
Right.
Yep, right
Now, people
here.
do sometimes do like a maple bacon
absolutely.
donut. Right.
Oh, they
totally
always
good,
do.
But this is more of the idea.
Yes, this is just the ring shape to have like something fun that you and the kids can put together.
Okay.
Yeah, I
All
like
right.
it. Well, tell me how you
what
put
are
this
gonna,
together.
And I'm leaving the dirty work to you.
Yeah, I know. It's all right. I can do it.
I figured you'd want to get your hands dirty in this stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
what we've done is we've gotten a couple of Vidalia onions,
Okay.
sliced them into rings, popped all the pieces out, and we'll just grab two roughly bigger and then probably about a half size smaller shape.
Okay.
Fill it with our ground pork mixture.
Okay.
So what we've done is we put a ground pork mixture together of a pound of ground pork, a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, or however you decide to say the word, 2 teaspoons of Dijon mustard, a teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of smoked paprika, half a teaspoon of onion powder, kosher salt, black pepper, and then some chili flakes if you like an extra little bit of heat. I did add the chili flakes. Granted, I'm a little white girl who does not do spice.
Okay.
So it's not very spicy.
Okay, you added a little bit.
I added just a touch.
Okay.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna find 2 roughly sized pieces.
Okay.
Which this was the hardest part of it, is just
I know.
finding rings
now-
that work.
Is this sort of, would you call this like meatball consistency?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I
so
would
we'll
say
just
meatball
get 2
consistency.
pieces.
That looks good.
Bigger one,
Yeah, I think
little
you're
one.
right.
Okay.
Get enough for some filling.
Okay. Like
And then
that.
we're
Well,
gonna
that's not a
take-
lot of filling.
Oh,
Yeah.
you'll fill it. Don't
Okay.
worry.
It'll be fine. So
And
then,
So then what I've done with the rest of these, because we actually prepped all of this for State Fair.
Okay.
So this is one of our State Fair demos, is I just rolled it out really thin in my hands.
okay,
And then I slid it around my ring.
I see.
And then I just shoved the other ring on the inside.
Okay. Now, so you are getting ready for the State Fair.
We are, yes. So we have been crazy busy with county fairs.
Yeah.
So we've already done Brown County and Sioux Empire.
Okay, you've got Turner County left.
And we've got Turner County tomorrow. So we'll be at the Turner County Fair, not just in the animal like petting zoo area, but we'll also be at the food booth with our Turner County pork producers.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So make sure to come out and have a really good meal. So
Now
then
show
once
yours, because
So-
that does look pretty good.
Yeah, you did a good job.
Yeah.
Way better than I did.
Well, she's been prepping it.
I've been
I
prepping.
know.
The amount of these that I have done, like I did I think a batch of like 6 times the recipe, so I've got practice.
Maybe I need more like this one in there. or
You need a
something.
smaller
Maybe a
onion.
smaller one.
You need a smaller one.
So I would go
Like-
maybe either like one of these sizes and
Oh.
just shove her down in
and
there.
then get it in the inside of it.
Yeah.
On the inside of this.
On the like. you
In
want
between
this-
the rings.
That in between the all the meat
So
is
then just
between
if
the
there's
rings.
anything on
Oh,
the
yeah, I
inside,
see,
because
I
we're
see,
gonna
I
take our
see.
bacon.
Yep.
I'm a
And
backseat cooker. I'm a
Yes, you are.
backseat onion
I like a good
stuffer.
backseat cooker. So then
That's
once you
right.
get that, I stretch out the bacon just a touch, so
Okay.
that
Okay.
way it goes a little bit further.
Sure.
And then
Okay,
you'll
so
just
stretch it a little bit.
just
Have you ever
stretch
done
your
that before?
bacon,
I didn't know you could.
and then you're
stretch
just
it.
I
going
didn't
to
either.
wring it, just loop it through and cover as much as possible.
Okay.
If you only get halfway, like what I'm probably gonna have, is I'll just add another ring of
Add
bacon.
another ring of bacon.
Oh,
Because
man,
you can
I
never
am
have too much
really having
bacon.
trouble. This whole day is not my day.
This right, you're right.
no.
You're right. This is
I'm switching to a different.
this
So, yeah,
has
so-
not been our day.
One little piece of bacon went about halfway with mine.
Okay.
So then I'll just grab another piece of bacon,
Uh-huh.
stretch it out.
All right. I'm going to be joining you on the second one.
You know, that's fine.
You're gonna get yeah. Okay. It is really just not our day.
Right.
You know, that's kind of how my whole day yesterday was. So
Okay.
do not feel bad
feel our pain.
at all. I get it.
Okay.
Except mine wasn't with cooking. Mine was with my car.
Okay. Well, we haven't done that yet today,
Right.
but there's time.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's still
Okay,
early.
This is actually now working.
That's working now.
Now, I did not know that you could stretch bacon the way that we just did.
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
So bacon is one of the fattier cuts of our pork. and that fat does tend to stretch.
Okay.
So I did get a little bit fattier bacon when I went and got the bacon.
That's a good tip.
Okay.
Just knowing that I was going to be stretching them around rings.
Right.
Right.
So if you're looking for something to do with some fatty bacon that
You can make some bacon donuts.
That sounds like a good idea.
And then it just ends up looking like a cute little ring.
Okay.
Covered in bacon.
Now, how did you cook that? You said you could do it on the grill.
You can do it on the grill, so temp it or prep it to about 375, 400 on your grill.
Okay.
Or same temp in your oven. And then you're just going to cook them until the inside ground pork gets to 160. Your outside bacon, if you cook them in the oven, will be a little on the soggier side, just because it doesn't have that crispy, hot pan action to make it crispy.
Yeah.
So if you do it in the oven like I did, I then put them in a pan just to finish off the bacon.
Oh, yeah.
And it just made it all that extra delicious. On the grill, you really don't have to worry about it, because you're already getting that heat from the flame.
Sure.
Now, does bacon come from a specific part of a pig?
The belly.
The belly, okay.
The
The
belly.
belly of the pig. Well, I actually got it made somehow.
And it's beautiful.
You're just turning our day around, aren't you?
Yep, I just turned it around.
it works.
Right
Turn
there.
it around, it works. That's
do
a
like
super
it.
interesting thing.
Yeah.
I could see
Oh,
how this
sorry.
would be a crowd pleaser at a tailgate or game day. I mean, people would be...
Prep them the day before if you're going to go to, like, say, Gary, you want to do an SDSU or USD tailgate, or in my case, an Iowa State tailgate. Sorry, it's my alma mater.
Oh, yeah.
So prep them the day before, freeze them, and then while you're on your way to the tailgate, they'll thaw, and by the time you want to cook them on the grill or on the flat, on the griddle, they'll be ready to go.
How do you like it?
That is tasty.
Isn't it?
That's a really good snack.
Yeah.
I love that.
I could see that just being a hit.
Yeah, you don't even have to dip it at all. It's
No.
good.
There is a dipping sauce on the recipe, but I don't like mayo, so I just don't do it.
Okay.
And then when we did it, I was like, they don't need it.
They don't need it.
You can brush them with barbecue sauce if you want to add that extra flavor to it, but it's not a necessity by any means.
I love it.
Yeah,
Very
it's-
tasty.
It's bacon, it's onion rings, it's everything you need.
It is. You're
all
just not
you need.
fried.
Yeah.
That's right.
Thank you so much for being here.
Of course, my
Yes.
pleasure.
If you're looking to serve up the ultimate appetizer, why not put bacon donuts on the menu for your next tailgater? You'll find this and other great recipe ideas by visiting sdpork.org/recipes.
The South Dakota Pork Producers Council office in Sioux Falls is open Monday through Friday at 4615 West Homefield Drive from 8 until 5. You can also reach them by phone at 605-332-1600 or online at sdpork.org.
This KELOLAND Living segment has been sponsored by the South Dakota Pork Producers Council, proud to support the farmers who raise the pork that feeds the families and strengthens our communities.
What's next? You'll have to join us after the break to find out.
We'll be right back. It's time for this week's design tip from the talented design experts at Billy Arthur Design Studio. Mary Lisa, you say don't be afraid to go big and bold.
Go big or go home.
Yeah.
Honestly, boldness is fabulous as long as it's controlled. We are seeing a lot of bolder colors, bolder patterns, floral chintz fabrics, floral wallpapers. It's quite the trend right now to see a floral headboard with a floral wallpaper behind it. And it's a pretty cool look.
And that can be color drenching too that you use.
Absolutely. Color drenching, using the same tone or the same color on your walls as you do on the trim, on the baseboards. That just layers it up, and it creates such a warm and cozy, inviting space.
Come check out Billy Arthur for yourself at 140 East Hinks Lane.
Well, earlier
was a bad
you
day.
saw that. Yeah, we had a rough time with our two segments. My chocolate
Seized up.
on us.
But we tried the thing
But
with the
we
boiling
did.
water and it did work.
Yeah, I put about maybe a quarter cup of boiling water in it. I mixed it around, and it did get back to that milky consistency of chocolate. So now we
You
can
were able to
actually
finish
try
it.
this.
Now,
Do you want to try some?
I don't.
Really?
I really don't like banana pudding. I don't like banana cream pie. I don't like
It's
any
very
of it.
banana-like.
Okay, yeah, so I'm not gonna like that.
Right.
Right.
Heavy banana.
Heavy banana, but it did work. And we need you to know that. We do, because it was such a bad day today.
Yeah, we feel really defeated.
We are feeling really bad about ourselves because almost nothing we did worked, and even with Abby and the bacon, it was you made it work.
I
but
did
like,
make that work eventually. But,
we were struggling today,
Yeah,
and
we
so
sure were.
I don't know.
well, Tomorrow is a new day.
Tomorrow's a new day.
We hope that you had as much fun as we did over the past hour. From our home to yours, thanks for joining us.
Until next time, keep living your best life in KELOLAND.
Content segments during KELOLAND Living were paid for by the following: Versatile Solutions, LLC.
And the South Dakota Pork Producers Council.
KELOLAND Living set furniture is provided by Billy Arthur Design Studio in Sioux Falls. From timeless classics to modern statements, Billy Arthur Design's curated selection ensures that every piece is not only beautiful, but also of highest quality. And Living set each week are provided by the Flour Mill in Sioux Falls, helping you honor life's special moments since 2006.